The Basilica is a monument to Peter, whom Jesus chose as the chief apostle, declaring that Peter was the rock on which he would build the church. Because Rome was the capital of the empire, Peter, along with the apostle Paul, came here to spread the faith early in the first millennium. But early Christians were often persecuted for their beliefs. And according to church tradition, in 64 AD, the Apostle Peter was arrested, brought to one of the great imperial circuses in Rome, and martyred on an inverted cross. His body was taken outside the walls of the arena, and there, on the side of what was called the Vatican Hill, he was buried, perhaps in a small roofed grave. Almost 300 years later, Constantine, the first Christian emperor of Rome, declared that a great church should be built on the site of the tomb of St. Peter, which had evolved from a simple grave to a small shrine.
Now, what's interesting about the actual location of the basilica is that the terrain, the hillside, the imperial circus, a Roman road, a cemetery, made this an almost impossible site to construct a church. But the emperor insisted it must be there, and the axis of the church, the place where the altar would be, must be precisely there.
Anchored on the grave of the apostle, the first St. Peter's Basilica incorporated the original shrine into the altar floor. The Basilica, Constantine's memorial to Peter, lasted about 1,200 years and was then torn down to make way for the new church. But by then, in a remarkable twist of fate, the ancient Roman graveyard beneath the church had all but been forgotten. The secrets held there, including details of Peter's burial, would not come to light again until the 20th century. Anecdotal evidence, they never had much proof. Then, in 1939, workers renovating the grottos beneath St. Peter's made a stunning find. Just below the floor level, they discovered an ancient Roman grave. It soon became clear that there wasn't just one grave, but an entire city of the dead. After many months of digging, the excavators came to a section of older graves near the area underneath the high altar. Directly beneath the altar, they found a small burial site and a wall painted red. In a niche connected to that wall, they found the bones of a man. Decades later, in 1968, Pope Paul VI announced that those bones belonged to St. Peter. Very shortly, just before the candidates for bishop are ordained, they will drop to the floor just above those bones and prostrate themselves before the high altar. Here, the gesture underscores the Vatican's link with Peter and the new bishop's role in carrying Christ's message into the future.